Hello, everybody. Welcome to your new favorite tinfoil hat series with your three favorite ladies from Your Soul Wisdom. I mean, what a great way to start or end your day with us.
I hope to give everyone
Was
nightmares if you watch it at the end of the day.
no, that is not. That is the K in your name, madame. Anyway, I'm digressing. If you are new here, we wear tinfoil hats because we talk about all things conspiracy. This is only for entertainment purposes only. And even though we provide facts and a lot of things, it's just entertainment. And so let's see. Okay, Amanda, I think without further ado, let's just jump right in. We are starting with your conspiracy tinfoil hat theory of the day.
Okay.
The week.
So I'm going to talk to you guys about the Tartarian Empire cover-up because it's a bit of hidden history there. So the theory is that there used to exist in the 1700s to the 1800s, a massive advanced civilization called Tartaria, and it spanned across what was called then Eurasia, until as recently as the 1800s, and it's been completely erased from history. And so there is evidence. I like to bring evidence. I like to bring receipts, because the old maps from 1700s to 1800s show Tartari or Grand Tartari as a massive empire. Okay, and these are on the old maps. And also, and when you have those, that some places you go to, they have those massive big globes that you have, the globes. And you can actually find it on some of the old globes and some of the museums and stuff like that. This huge landmass, and it's called Tartari or Grand Tartari. Okay, and that exists. Absolutely does. So there are also hundreds of really stunning neoclassical buildings worldwide, and that includes cathedrals, government buildings, world fair structures, that kind of like, we're told that were built in impossibly short timeframes, like 2 to 3 years, with the primitive technology that we have. And these buildings have incredibly advanced architecture and free energy technology. And so on the top of these buildings, I don't know if you guys have seen a lot of these grand buildings, they have these massive domes on top of the buildings. And inside those buildings used to be great big bells. And so the question is that people are asking, why have they got rid of the bells? Where have the bells gone? But also, from that, there is around about that time when they actually wiped it off, in a sense, what they did, they wiped it off the face of the earth. There were massive mudslides. There were fires and things that happened. And some of these buildings are literally buried under all of these mudslides. Now, in that time, there were trainloads of children. There were these trainloads. It's about 250,000 plus children, orphans, that were taken and put into orphanage, because around the 17 and 1800s, orphanages were extremely popular and nobody knows why. And they also have, I don't know if you have ever seen it, you see it, they have these, and you see it, the old time pictures, films of people, of these babies in incubators. They were called, they kind of liken them to like the Cabbage Patch kids, but they had all these babies in all these different incubators. They were just there. All these different babies were just there. So go and ask me some questions and I'll answer them. I can't hear you, Yana.
Your mic is off.
Sorry. First of all, you mentioned the bells.
Yes.
And so you've triggered some other memory that I've had, where another conspiracy, if you will, where bells, you like church bells and the town square bells and all that, they used to be like tuned to like frequencies from like 432 to 528 like megahertz, the
They changed
healing
it.
frequencies.
Yeah, they
When
changed
you
it.
would hear like church bells,
Yeah.
you would just it made you feel something, whether you didn't care what church it was coming from, it was just the sound.
Yeah.
And so that frequency or those bells, they've actually changed them to a different frequency that's not any of the healing frequencies. Now, it's funny because I've had so many conversations about this. And like when
Yeah.
you do the research, like they'll say, oh, well, the frequency changed because of maintenance, or these bells are old, or the parts no longer exist, or whatever. And that's complete BS.
Yeah, it is.
Because everything was sound.
Yeah.
Was meant to be of healing nature.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, you bringing that up to me, I'm right away, it takes me to that space, because I'm like, of course they would manipulate these things that were good for our energetic space to something that doesn't serve our highest good, if you will.
Yeah, yeah. And what goes along with that as well is the fact that during that time, there was a massive reset in terms of people's memory, in terms of any of those that actually survived the big reset. And there's no telling what happened with how did the people who orchestrated this actually live, because the understanding is, or the belief system is that they may have gone underground in order for this massive reset to happen. And then when they came back up, this is how they began to reshape things. But also within that time, what happened is that there was a massive growth. There was a huge expansion in what they called those the sort of like the mental homes that used to send people to, asylums.
The asylums. Yeah.
Asylums. And what it was, they were saying was that anybody who had any memory of it, or any slight memory of what existed before, they were sent to the asylums and they were cast as mad, and so that nobody would believe them when they spoke about, I remember a time when this place was different, it looked different. The Native American Indians talk about the time before. The Aborigines talk about the cities and the places that existed before, the lands that existed before. And have I lost my ears? I think I've lost my ears. And also one of my earplugs I think is gone.
Did it connect? Did it connect to your antenna?
It's gone to my antenna. I've got to feed it back into my head. And also and so they were doing then a lot of electroshock therapy, whereby they were frying people's brains.
Right.
There was a huge rise in asylums during that time in the 1800s. There were thousands of people that were being put in these asylums. So
what's the link with the children and the orphanages and the incubators?
Apparently a lot of the children lost their parents. So a lot of the children went round and they were gathered and they were all brought together and they were put on these and they were sent to these orphanages, because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these orphanages sprung up holding thousands of children. And there are also pictures of thousands of these organizations, these orphanages, with all of these children, a couple thousand children just stood outside there. Do you know what I mean? And they took pictures of them, and these pictures exist. Where are the parents?
Well, here's the thing, though. There's been a lot of information, and this is not conspiracy theory, although it's going to sound like it. A lot of documented information, interviews, all sorts of stuff where they actually use children in orphanages to test out vaccines on. They use them to test out medicine out and like medical procedures out on them. We know that a lot of them get trafficked. Listen, don't get me started on oh my God, what's her name? Mary.
Mary.
Mother Teresa.
Mary
there's
Magdalene?
no, not Mary Magdalene. Mother Teresa. I don't know why I said
Teresa.
Mary. Mother Teresa, and they say her orphanages were actually trafficking hubs.
Yeah.
You know, and so I can't prove that. Everything's entertainment purposes, everybody. But they the adoption or the what do we call them again? The orphanages. I apologize. The orphanages and the level of abuse that also goes there. It's the same thing equivalent to now how jails, at least in America, jails are popping up everywhere and they're businesses. They want the jails filled up as much as possible because all jails in the States, they're independently owned. They're privately owned. It's not like your state or your county owns this jail. They're all businesses now. And not only do they want them filled to the max because then the government pays these private businesses X amount per inmate, they also have these inmates working for pennies on the dollar, making clothes, license plates. So they're creating product. So it's a legit business. And so are these orphanages.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing, it gets so dark.
It gets dark. Very, very dark. And so what they were saying was that between, I think it was 1854 and 1929, 250,000 children with no parents were redistributed across America. And what the question is were they Tartarian children after the reset? Okay. There were also great fires that happened in the 1800s to the 1900s that got rid or completely destroyed evidence and records that this place existed. Okay. And the fact of the matter is that why this matters is the fact that Tartaria actually was real and had free energy technology. And so that's why it was erased.
Can I ask you, were Tartarians like large people? Like, I don't want to say giants, but were they like, what made them unique physically? Was there anything physically unique about them?
So that's a really good question because I'm not 100% sure, but I do think there is some aspect of that to it. But at the same point in time, I don't. And I don't know if there was some sort of coexistence, but this was in the sort of 1800s, you know? And so there would be obviously families that have come from all of those that were displaced or all of the different orphanages and whatever. And they're not giants. So it's quite interesting. And I don't really know of any stories of people talking about, oh, well, you know, my great grandparent was a giant, and people say, yeah, so was mine. I don't know. I just know that within that time, I just know that within that time, and it's really interesting how Tartaria came to me. It came to me a good couple years ago, and it kept on. It was almost like it kept popping up, and it wasn't even in social media. It just kept popping up in different places, and then in my head and in my mind, and I knew it was something that I had to look into. What is this word, and why am I hearing it all the time? What is this place? And then what happened was that I used to see things in my head. I used to see pictures and couldn't understand, couldn't explain what these pictures were of me with a woman walking over rubble. But it looked like we had gone through a war. So it's rubble where things had all been like destroyed and can't say desecrated because no, 100 grand, but it'd been like destroyed, like a bomb had been dropped, but it wasn't. But I could, with this woman, and the funny thing is the clothes that we were wearing, and I always assumed that maybe it was this life. My mum was just wearing funny clothes and me was wearing funny clothes. It's a long time ago. And the other one is this obviously a past life memory of me and my mother, quite slim, walking over this rubble. But the technology that existed in Tartaria was out of this world, and even the way in how they traveled. So we all know that utilities today, electricity, oil, gas, it's the way they keep us trapped and held. Look what's happening now. Everybody's screaming about the price of oil. You know, can't do this, we can't do that. Do you know, everything's gone up, food this, food that, you know, right? And what is so hilarious is that, and I know I'm going off topic here, but what is so hilarious that oil goes up straight away. It goes up straight away. But yet, when it goes back down, when it drops, do we ever see that? When does that get to us? And then they talk about, well, it has to slowly filter through the system. How the fudge does it have to slowly filter through the system back to us? But yet, when it's going up, it goes up straight away within days. Within days.
Yeah, because they're not here to make sure that you survive well and you can afford shit. Absolutely.
Bullshit. There's no oil crisis. There's no old bullshit. It's all a load of crock of crap.
Agreed. 100% agreed. Okay, so anyway, then are we who's in for Tartaria?
I could entertain it.
I could entertain it too.
I could entertain.
Okay, listen, it's a very Amanda topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And by the way, so much stuff in it though, but I'm telling you, those globes exist. So go and find those globes. You could even find them online, but they exist in museums. Some people even have them in their houses, but everybody just puts it off as if, but those globes exist whereby they have the mass land and it's actually marked as Tartaria. They exist. Absolutely.
Crazy.
But can I go next?
Yes. Absolutely.
You can.
Okay. Listen. You guys may kick me off of the show eventually.
We haven't yet, so it's got to be pretty awesome if you're already coming at us with that.
Well, no, I'm just, anyway. Look,
doozies.
Which I firmly stand by the way. Firmly stand by. But, it's a toss-up for me as to which one I want to cover. So I'm going to go with the more calming one today because I don't want to push people over the edge, but
I don't think
I'll save that for next time. You don't think there's an edge? Right. I think there's an edge with some people.
I'm going to come with a bigger hat.
But then it's your show.
Okay. So you guys want me to go off the deep end?
Go off the edge. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Kylie, I don't want to see an eye roll over there.
It's the tinfoil hat. Let's do it.
Well, I'll put this on so you can't see it.
No.
But hold on a minute. Look what we're wearing, and you don't want to go off the edge. I think we're ready, well and truly, 10 toes deep over the edge.
I like I'm ready for Coachella. Okay, let's go.
Listen, I actually don't think that gravity is real.
Oh,
are we good?
Okay. Go on. Where's your receipts?
Yeah, go on. Go on.
Listen, this is not anything that I have researched. This is something that for quite a while, I have just felt like it's one of those where it's like, that is such BS we're being spoon-fed because I don't think it's gravity. I think that's just the natural state of whatever this planet is that we're on. I don't think there's anything special that happens. In the same way that I don't believe people have gotten into space. And so I think when they float in their spaceship, I actually think it's all fake. Right. It's all fake. And, their hair is not blowing, but the rest of them is floating, but their hair is perfectly fine. Like, give me a break. Okay. I know. Okay.
But what's happening but what's happening to our boobs then and our cheeks?
Breastfeeding,
over age,
children. Yeah, but it's the elasticity of your skin. It loses nutrients, loses vitamins after all these years of us not eating properly. Of course, all that stuff happens. I think it's a natural.
Not mine. I'm just saying.
No, never. You are a perfect goddess.
Absolutely.
But I think that's just natural thing. I don't think there's a thing called gravity that keeps us down to this round globe of whatever it is that we're on. I think it's just a natural thing. And I don't believe otherwise. No comments?
I'm thinking.
Hold on, Kylie. I want you, obviously, if you think I'm crazy, tell me I'm crazy, and then tell me what you're thinking.
Look, I can see what you're saying, okay? But I think that there is solid, and I know in the previous episode you did say that science is ever evolving and hypotheses get to be checked and rechecked. But I think the physics is not debunkable, whatever the word.
How do
I
you
think that it's,
know? How do
I
you
just
know?
think that if there is physics and physics has proven, I don't think it's up for negotiation.
But when you say physics has proven, is
Right.
that technically, correct me if I'm wrong, means that what you've read and what people have told you and what books have said is that this thing is real?
As opposed to Yana coming with a theory. Well, I'm just saying.
Right. And all I'm saying is, to me, both are on equal footing.
Okay.
We know history is written by the winners. We know that what's in most of the information in our children's textbooks is BS. It is not what they should be learning. It is not the truth. There's so many lies in it.
Okay.
That for me, I sit there and I go, I'm not a physicist. I don't know how this works. Anybody could tell me anything and I can't counter it because I don't have a physics degree. I don't work in physics. I don't work in that space.
Okay.
I don't have the knowledge of that space. There's something about common sense for me. It doesn't have to be for everybody. Something about for me where I'm like, it just doesn't it just feels like a fraudulent thing. And especially when you see people in space where the gravity's not working on every single part of what should be working, you sit there and you go, well, they're just blatantly lying to me. They're clearly just making themselves, float and levitate or whatever you want to call it. And so if that's not real, what's to say that everything else is real?
But it's like oxygen, right? We can't see it. And we have physics, we have science backing that we have oxygen in the air.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Look.
Okay. Look, it's like this.
Things I can get on board. And this would be in the category of I
get it.
going to be not on board with this one.
Okay, so let me make a comparison. Okay? You're saying, well, there's science, and so you believe it, and I sit here and I go, I don't believe it. Okay, can both exist?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Both can.
I believe in a higher power. You don't believe in a higher power.
Do they both exist? Yes. I don't subscribe to it, but doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Okay, so you're saying in my reality, gravity could very well not be a thing.
Listen,
and
if
in
you
your
believe
reality,
it hard enough, then maybe it doesn't. But I'm in the camp of I've got two boobs that say otherwise, and that's my science.
But you don't think that that's
about the boobs.
you don't think. Listen, I don't believe in plastic surgery or cosmetic work or any of that. But I want you guys to know the second that happens, I'm going in. Okay, I'll be gone for a week. I'm going into, make sure that they stay where they're supposed to be. Okay. That will not be my reality. That is the one thing I will absolutely do.
I'm going to tell you something. What goes up must come down. I'm sorry.
Why?
But I have seen very pokey boobs for a good 6 months, and then they start to go down again. I'm sorry. And same with ass cheeks. Okay? No one has got Khloe Kardashians in the back all the time, and that's got to be science.
Well, that's also plastic surgery.
I understand that, but even you can stuff, subtract, tighten, and it will still come down over time.
Okay, so then let me ask you this. You can go to the gym. If your ass is droopy, you can go to the gym, do things that activate your glutes.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can get a nice perky butt.
Have you seen an 8-year-old?
But not if you don't have a perky butt in the first time.
No, I disagree with you. You know how many people I have seen. Like, you watch those videos.
You don't think that's not injections?
No, they're not coming back with. I'm not saying you're going to get this huge bubble butt, massive butt, but you start to see the curvature change.
Yeah, but not everybody has a big bubble butt, and that's
correct.
And that's the truth of it. Not everybody goes overboard. People go and they get it done, so it's just you've just got that nice shape and stuff like that, or whatever nice shape. I don't know. I think it's wild to go and get that done, but each to their own. So, but I don't know how much you can tighten up what isn't there.
Listen, I know somebody personally, and I'm not going to speak on how or the relation or anything, okay? Because I don't want to give anything away. I know somebody personally.
It's me. It's okay. You can say
it. Who never had a butt, but especially after children. I think it was her second child. Yeah, it was her second child. She not only didn't have a butt, but there was a droopy, like, you know, it was just not even, it wasn't even like non-existent. Before it was non-existent, now it was non-existent and just not cute. Like sagging, like old person.
Like a pancake.
Yeah.
You know,
where you're like, yeah, where you're like,
talking
you're really
about
young.
me. That's okay, bitch.
That's stop it. But long story short, she within, 6 months, she went to the gym, consistently, and she worked on her glutes, and she went from having no butt and droopy to having no droop and just having this nice little curve. She looked like she had some kind of a butt where she never had one her whole life. And I've known her my whole life. And so my point is, I've seen people shift that. But
okay,
gravity.
Was that the Stairmaster? That was probably the Stairmaster. But anyway, we digress.
Okay,
that's not a conspiracy theory.
Correct. But who's on the no gravity gravy train?
My hand's staying down.
I don't know. I've got to go sideways.
Fine, I accept it. I knew. Listen, I said balls to the wall. I knew I was going to get pushback on it.
I love it. Bring it.
But
it's food for thought.
Listen, when something feels off, you've got to go with your gut.
Okay.
And so that's where we're at.
All right.
That's it. Okay. So our third and final, Kylie.
I need to work on my my quality of my conspiracy theories. Because they're so boring in comparison to no. That's pretty ballsy. I think that shapeshifters exist, and there's a concentrated pack of them in the Appalachian Mountains.
Okay, you're doing these things where you're like very specific in this one location.
She is so specific.
Right. But why the Appalachian Mountains?
I think there's a portal there.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay, but there's portals. There's portals everywhere.
But not every portal has something. Hey, Amanda, help me out here. Every portal has something specific, right?
No, we have
put my hands up. Saying, I'm in.
I had a portal. But I think that every portal has its own thing, right? And I think that just happens to be the one that I'm focusing on today, is the shapeshifters in Appalachian Mountains.
So you think they come and go from there?
Yeah, I think that is it. Yeah, I'm sure that they wander around the world, but I think there is a massive nest of them there.
So so tell me, what defines a shapeshifter?
Good question. So it is from my research, it is just a being that exists, but then if it locks eyes on another human or comes in contact with a different animal, then it will shapeshift into that, develop its characteristics, but will serve out its purpose of terrorizing or feeding off of, gaining trust and feeding off of that. So if it's a deer, for example, and it shapeshifts into a deer, then it's going to go after rabbits, or it could approach a human and then shapeshift into a human, and then you're encountering your twin, and then you are never to be seen again. Ooh. Amanda? I feel like this is an Amanda thing. I don't know.
There are many shapeshifters. There are many different kinds of shapeshifters.
Sure.
But that's the one that I haven't, a particular kind of shapeshifter that I haven't heard about.
What are the shapeshifters you've heard about?
Well, there are the standard issue reptilian.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got, others that can that can morph into, oh God, it is what you just said, actually. That can morph into you. But I guess the reason why I'm kind of giving this some hard thought, because I think I saw this on one of the might have been one of the Star Trek shows or something like that, whereby the shapeshifter could do that, could shapeshift. It would literally become you.
Right.
Wasn't
and that's why they say
do that.
What was that?
Wasn't it Q? I thought it was Q that could. Well, anyway, no, Q who was on Star Trek. But anyway, so but there are shapeshifters that can literally shift into you, that can literally morph into you.
And they primarily come out at night. That's why when you're up there, you have to keep your curtains closed. You shouldn't go outside in case you make eye contact with them. Because then they'll take over your identity.
In the Appalachian,
shopping with a credit card. You're laughing at me with the gravity thing. Seriously. Okay.
No, but
when I come home and you've got like a new handbag, it's because your shapeshifter buddy went out shopping for you because they've got your identity.
When I hear you say, this is why you have to close your curtains so you don't make eye contact.
That's right, because they're out at night. That's why I have to open up all my windows in case they find me here.
Okay, so it's not Appalachian Mountain specific.
No, it is Appalachian Mountain
worldwide.
Look, you could get different variations of them worldwide, but I'm talking mostly about the Appalachian Mountain, shapeshifters.
So are there people who've had experience with them? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. You can go on social media and people interact and there's videos and there's stories. Absolutely. Did I come today? No, I did not.
Where did you think you were going to today, Kylie?
Well, I clearly need to bring Appalachia. I have a dream to go there. I want to see one. No joke. Some people want to go to Italy and go to Lake Como. I want to go to the Appalachian Mountain and live with the Hicks and go see a shapeshifter.
Well, listen, according to Elizabeth April, they're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Well,
you're next to them in line at the grocery store. You're watching them on your TV.
Yeah, but that's like the reptilian, like average. I don't want the average. I want the super freaky ones.
So are the super freaky ones just bad?
2 stories. I think I told you the story.
Okay.
Right, about shapeshifter. Did I tell you about the story about that girl who went out on who did online dating, and she went out and had dinner with a guy, and then she just wasn't feeling him, and so she just said, right, yeah, I'm not feeling this. I don't think we're a match. I'm gonna go home. And then so she, at the end of the date, when they got to leave, she kind of like turned to him and she said, okay, that's really nice. Thank you. I'm going to get a cab. And she said she immediately felt this massive kind of like pull. He was just staring at her and he just felt this massive kind of like pull. And so he said, well, do you want to come home with me? And she just went, yeah, okay, I'll go home with you. When she knew in her mind and body that she didn't want to go home with him at all. Right. And it was really kind of weird, but she said she couldn't do anything else but go home with him. So she said they got to his apartment or whatever. Was it here or there? Anyway, got to his apartment, went inside, and she said, I don't know if they were talking. And then at one moment she looked at him and he completely shifted, completely changed. She said she couldn't even describe to you what it was. He was this other being, this other something. And she just looked at him and she just went, what the hell are you? And he immediately shifted back. And then he said to her that, well, obviously I'm not human. And she said, right. She goes, so what are you? So he goes, I'm not human. He goes, but he says, I'm going to let you go. He said, I'm going to let you go tonight, he says, because his intentions was to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'm going to no, let me finish. He said, yeah, I'm going to let you go. He says, because your reaction to me was so calm and you weren't like, oh my God, get me out of here. Because she started screaming and everything like that. Then he would have had to have silenced her. And he said, I'm going to let you go. He says, because nobody's going to believe you. You can go out wherever you want. He goes, but no one's going to believe you. And he
until he comes see us. And then
Okay.
Came straight to social media and told the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't know this girl personally.
No, I don't.
Oh, so Kylie, you're on board with this story?
110%. I'm willing to die on this mountain.
110% on this story, but
Absolutely.
you're 0% on gravity not being real.
No, being real. Absolutely. I'm like, I'm ready.
Being
this
real.
is a vacation for me. It's on my bucket list.
Kylie,
I'm going to go see one.
No.
I'm invited in. Let's go. Let's go.
But did you not hear, right, another story. Did you not hear about the girl on the plane?
No.
The girl on the plane,
one who freaked out.
Freaked out on the plane. She got taken off the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had them land the plane.
Yeah. And after that, she never spoke about it again. She just spoke about, and she was all like, it wasn't this. It's absolute bullshit. She's obviously been told you keep your mouth shut or you keep silent, or, whatever. But she absolutely saw something. I
don't think they had taken off yet. I think the story goes she was in. Okay, so if I remember correctly, at least the one I think I remember, the door was closed, right? So once the door is closed, you're not getting off, like you're in.
Freaked out,
right? And so they had
that man's not human. That's not
right. Right, they weren't in the air yet.
No,
but she said that she turned and she saw the person next to her being some other form of something else.
Yeah,
she starts freaking out. Everyone, of course, is recording it because they're like, "What is happening?"
Yeah,
and she starts screaming, "He's not human. He's something else. He's an alien. He's like a monster." Whatever word
she
goes,
I don't care what anybody thinks. You can whatever.
Correct.
That person is not human.
Right. Yep. And she was insistent. And I think like the FFA.
And that was it. The person who they interviewed afterwards was not her. Looked nothing like her. If you see the person who's talking about it now, is not her. It's not as if you could even say, oh, well, she's put on weight, she looks a bit different, anything like that. It's not her. It's actually not her.
That makes
maybe they couldn't shut her up. That was it. Because maybe they couldn't shut her up. So maybe they just,
I'm convinced I've met things that aren't human that appear to be human. I can probably pull out a good 2 or 3.
Listen, my only experience of that is one time with one of my mentors. She's a friend now, but she was a friend at that point too. But we were at lunch and she went to the bathroom or something and she came back, and as she sat down, I blinked. You blink. And in that one blink, I saw where her presence is, an alien form. And it was the cutest alien form. It had almost like, what's happening here?
Oh, no.
It was almost like she had these long, like where her body was, her face was. Yeah. And then she had these long stems here, and then her eyes were up here. Yeah, and she was like a greenish color. It happened just for a split second. I was like, what just happened? And of course, I'm trying to blink, again, and nothing. Yeah. And she's, if the energy felt good, but I was like, I've never experienced this before. And aliens is not it's not the thing I deep dive on, so it's not like something where like, oh, well, you've just been so much into it that now you're seeing it everywhere. It was off my radar.
You see that a lot in light body. And I don't know if every light body practitioner would see that, but I know that I do. That you can see people's other, whether it's their other true form or it's just an other front or part of their soul component. You can see that quite clearly.
Yep, I think it happens more than people realize.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know whoever's on board for a little retreat to the Appalachian Mountains, but
no, thank you. No, thank you.
Can we go find a beach somewhere? Can they just come to the beach?
Sure, I'll let them know to move.
Thank you. Yeah. Absolutely, direct them over there, and I would absolutely consider if I can get a tan. All right, awesome. So I guess you're both on Kylie's gravy train of shapeshifters. Listen, I believe in shapeshifters. Do I think it's Appalachian Mountain specific? You haven't given me anything Appalachian Mountain specific for me to agree on that. So yeah,
but it might be that there are portals, because there's portals everywhere. There's portals, and there's also stargates. And portals are slightly different to stargates, but there are portals and there are stargates.
Right.
Because you know the Yetis, not the Yetis, the Bigfoots. They walk in and out of portals. They walk in and out of time.
Yes.
So they walk and then they disappear. It's literally they just shift into a portal and they come back.
Yep.
So yeah, they do.
Love it.
Okay. Well, I think we got a little bit of a 2 out of 3 today. I still stand firm on my belief systems here.
I've got to do some research on that one.
And yes. And so again, if you think I'm crazy or Kylie's crazy, just put it below. Let's do a little vote. Let's see what comes up. What? Listen, I said I was going to go balls to the wall.
I'm crazy. I'm good.
Because it's all accurate.
If you have any other conspiracy tinfoil hat moments you would like for us to look more into, I promise I will give them all to Kylie, and Kylie will actually do the research to get all the information.
Yeah, pull it out of my cheeks, out of my gravity, and boost the cheeks.
Totally. Until then, you guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment on our content. It is the best way to support us. We thank you. We appreciate you. And we hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. Till next time, everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.